Okay, y'all, here are the ingredients we'll need for our cheeseburger soup. I am super excited. A couple of potatoes, actually 3, some sour cream, some processed cheese, the melty kind. I've got Colby Jack shredded cheese. It called for pepper jack, just didn't have that. A little bit of butter, some minced garlic, or of course you could use fresh, some shallots or onions, your choice of all-purpose seasoning, some real bacon pieces. Of course, you could use your own bacon and fry it. I'm just doing it the fast way. Some chicken broth. I always get the reduced sodium. Some milk. Some hamburger meat, of course, and some cornstarch. While we're doing that, we're going to get this hamburger in the pot. Let's get it cooking. My potatoes are chopped. My ground beef was browned, so I added my shallots, my garlic, and now my chopped potatoes in. I covered those with chicken broth. You want to cover just to the top of your potatoes. Now we're going to let this cook. I'm going to kick it up on medium high. Let's put it about on between 7 and 8 and let this boil. That way our potatoes will get good and tender. Probably anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on what size you cut your potatoes. And I'll be back. Before this comes to a boil, I'm going to add some parsley, plenty of salt and pepper. And of course, I use my Boone jugs. That is my choice for seasoning. It's like a barbecue seasoned salt. Season it up really well. Let's get it to about, let's just turn it down to simmer. And we're gonna add, I cubed up about 1/3 of the block of Velveeta. Y'all, I know some people don't like Velveeta, but it is the best melting cheese. All right, so we're gonna stir until our cheese melts. We've got this down on simmer. And we're gonna add our bag of bacon bits. Let me make sure there's not a surprise in there. You know, that little pack of poison that might come out. Let's just dump it. Don't think it had one. All right, so we're just gonna let our cheese melt. Y'all, this smells amazing. All right, and I've got my Colby Jack. I'm gonna pour in about half this bag, so about a cup. And we're just gonna let everything melt. Okay, y'all, I just opened up my cornstarch and I got it everywhere. I mean, are we really cooking if we don't make a mess? I've just got a 1-cup measure. I filled it up with some cold water. I'm gonna take 2 big spoonfuls of cornstarch and we're just gonna mix this up and put it in our warm soup. This will just tighten everything up, just thicken everything up. I mean, you don't want it thick. Just stir it real good to get all the lumps out and make it all dissolve. And we're just gonna stir it in our soup. You don't want it thick, but you want, you know, a little, I guess, substance to it. Let's pour it in there. Just take it and pour it in. You could do flour and make a roux, but I like the cornstarch because it's so much just faster and easier to me. And cornstarch always makes your soup so glossy. It just has a pretty shine. And we're just going to keep stirring and simmering until all our cheese is melted. And our soup is thick. Y'all, can you, oh my word. Okay, y'all, let me show you how thick this is. I like to thicken it before I add my milk. That looks like a great texture to me. I like to do it before I add my milk. So that way, if it gets too thick, I can add more milk. If it's too thin, you can always go back and add a little more cornstarch and water. But I've got right here 2 tablespoons of butter. Just gonna add a little richness. And we're gonna add in about a cup of milk. You could do half and half if you wanted to. This is just going to add a little extra creamy. Y'all, I wish you could smell this. Now we're just going to let it simmer on low about 10 minutes. All right, I'm just going to give it a little taste and just check it for seasoning. Oh my wow, that is delicious. I'm going to add a little bit more black pepper. Wow, now this is the part. If you want it more cheesy, add more cheese. Whatever you like. If you like it hot, throw you some jalapenos in here diced up. Make it your own. All right, y'all, this is good. Everything is melted. The last step, you're gonna turn it down to the very lowest setting. A huge scoop of sour cream. So I love sour cream, so I'm gonna do 2 spoonfuls. That is it. That is just gonna make it just an additional added creaminess. Stir that up and you're done. You are done. Look at this, y'all. This is the French fries in here with the potatoes, the cheeseburger, the hamburger meat. Let me just stir that sour cream in, let it kind of melt, and we're done. All right, let's do a taste test. Let's see if it measures up. So our soup is done. I'm gonna top it with just a little more cheese because you can never have enough. Some parsley. And if you had some green onions, that would be amazing. But look how delicious. All right, Scott just got home. He's going to do a taste test. Tell me what you think.
It's cheesy.
Yeah, I put a little extra cheese on top.
That's pretty good stuff there.
What do you think?
It pretty good.